I've opened here a sample document to show you how to use some of the features of the template. If you want to download a copy of any of the sample documents to play around with, please go to the appropriate video workshop page, which you can access from the All Postgraduate Workshops page on the Skills Team website. This is the same as the Chapter 1 file. So one of the main features that this template has is some inbuilt styles. Styles are sets of formatting instructions that you can easily apply to different parts of the text. Normally you would use the style gallery on the home ribbon. If you're not using very many styles, you can just pop up there and select particular ones. If you're using this a lot, and you will be in a long document like a dissertation, then it's much better to use the little dialogue launcher that's down in this bottom right hand corner of the styles gallery there. That will bring up your styles pane, and you can see all of the styles rather than having to keep going to the drop down list up here to get things. It's easier if you work with this docked to the side of the screen rather than it being a floating pane like it is when you first bring it down. So to dock it to the side of the screen, if you drag on the word styles and push it to the side of the screen, it looks like you're pushing it right off the edge, and then suddenly it will dock and will be fixed to the side of the screen, which makes it a little bit easier to use. By default, it just shows the names of the styles. If you want it to show what they look like they do in the styles gallery at the top there, then you can use the show preview option to change that. The negative thing about doing that is that you will still have to scroll to find some of your styles. So I prefer to leave that just on the names, just for ease of use. Now, the first important style to talk about is the normal style. This is the default style for the body text within your document. You can see when I've got an inset point or a selection in that main part of the body of the document, then the normal style is selected in the styles palette. The normal style is set to be Calibri 11 1.5 line spacing. It also has a non-justified right-hand margin, which is better for accessibility of your document for people with visual impairments. If your supervisor wants you to change this, some supervisors are quite traditional and prefer to use a font like Times New Roman or Arial, and they may want you to use double line spacing, then there is instructions in the guidance document for how to edit and modify the normal style. I'm not going to do it in this document because it will mean I then have to also make changes to the styles for some of my heading styles as well to make the spacing work correctly. But instructions on how to do that and what you need to set those to is all in that guidance document. Just to point out very briefly that if you do need to edit something in your normal style, you can just right click on the style name in the styles pane and choose modify. You've then got the option of various things like your fonts, your line spacing, and you can easily use this format button down the bottom left hand corner to go and change other paragraph settings and things like that. I'm not going to do that. So that's your normal style, and most of the text in your document will use that. The other important styles are the heading styles. So we can see here that we've already got, if I click into the Chapter 1 Education bit, this is already set to Heading 1. Heading 1 will automatically put the word chapter and a number in front of the heading, and it will automatically start it on a new page. Beneath that, I have got another heading. Now, at the moment, this is just in normal style, and I want to make this Heading 2. So all I need to do is put an inset point anywhere in the text and then click on Heading 2 over on the Styles pane. And we can see there that this has automatically put the numbering in because we chose the numbered template. If you'd chosen and downloaded the unnumbered template, then this would just change the text font and size. If I scroll down the document, you'll see there are several headings here. Now, this only needs doing in the Chapter 1 sample file. The other chapter files have already got the heading styles applied. Now, sometimes I've got some headings that may need to be subheads. If I want to have a subheading of heading 2, then I make that heading 3. And you can see that that has changed the numbering now to 1.2.1. Scroll down again, this is another subheading, so that's another heading 3, 1.2.2. And I can work through the document choosing these. The text underneath the images here is going to be captions, so I'm not making those headings. Got a table in here. I'm just working down this. Whenever it's a subheading, I'm making it heading 3, and if it's a normal heading, I'm making it heading 2. Now, obviously, normally when you're writing, you're doing this as you're going along, so you don't need to work through the whole document. Unless you're applying this template to an existing document, you will need to then go through and do it as I'm doing, going through each of the headings. Nearly there. Okay, so that's all of the headings in this document set with their appropriate styles. When you are using headings like this, it could be that a navigation pane appears down the left-hand side of your document. This doesn't happen every time. If it doesn't happen, then if you go to the View ribbon, you can just click the navigation pane option, and you can see that anything that's had the heading styles applied to it has now appeared in this navigation pane. You can use it to quickly move around the document. You can also collapse sections so that you don't need to see all of it at once. One of your thesis chapters will probably be quite a lot longer than this is. If you are working on a Mac, then it may originally default to show them as pages like this. You just need to click on the headings option to switch it back to be seeing the headings. There are some other styles in this document that you might find useful. First of all, as you can see on this page, I've got a piece of text that is masquerading as a quotation. If you have a longer quotation, 20 words or more usually, then you put it in its own paragraph, and you can just click into that paragraph, just have an insert point, not a particular word, and you can click on the quote style. And you can see that automatically indents it from both margins and has single line spacing applied. Another one a little higher. Do the same thing again. Click into the paragraph. Select quote. Also, we have a table in this document. And as you can see, because the text is set to 1.5 line spacing, it does look a little odd in a table. So we've created a table text style. I'm just going to select the whole table by clicking on the little selector in the top corner and then choose table text. And you can see that goes to single line spacing, and it's just one font size smaller, which is just perfect for a table. There are some other styles, but some of those are applied automatically, such as the caption style, which will be looked at in the video on labelling figures and tables. And the others are styles that are used in the main thesis template. And again, I'll look at those more in the appropriate video. I must emphasise the amount of time and effort that you'll save by using these inbuilt styles. Not only will your document look consistent and professional, But when we bring all the chapter files together into the main thesis template, you can automatically create a table of contents and keep it updated as you make later edits.